Okay. So in previous lecture, we already discussed about time displacement graph and time velocity graph, right? Now here I am going to discuss average velocity and instantaneous velocity with the help of time displacement graph, and average acceleration and instantaneous acceleration with the help of time velocity graph. Okay. As we know that with the help of time displacement graph, we can easily find the velocity. How can we find the velocity? We can find the velocity to find out the slope of the straight line. But in this graph, you can see that the graph is not a straight line. Okay, it is a curved line, right? Now you can see here in this curve we have 2 points.
It is a non-uniform.
Okay, we are going to take 2 points, that is point P. At T1 the position of particle is this at point P, and at T2 the position of particle is this at point Q. Okay, so S1 is the position at time T1 and S2 is the position at time T2. We draw perpendicular like this on x-axis and on y-axis. Now we have to find out the slope. Because this is a curved line, so we will draw a straight line like this from point to point Q. Okay. Then we will find out the slope of the straight line. Slope of the straight line is, slope of the straight line of PQ is change in y-axis upon change in x-axis. That means S2 minus S1 upon T2 minus T1 equals to delta S upon delta T. Delta represents the change in displacement. Change in here, delta S represents change in displacement and delta T represents change in time. So the average velocity is V bar equals to delta S upon delta T. Is this clear? Average velocity is clear? Come on, answer me in the chat. Now you know how can you find the average velocity with the help of displacement time graph. Very good. Now come to the instantaneous velocity. For the instantaneous velocity, as I told you, when we are talking about instantaneous velocity, that means we are talking about velocity at particular time. Okay, so let us consider that point Q is very near to point P. Okay, and if point Q is very near to point P, that means delta T is very small. See, अगर ये point P बिल्कुल पास आ जाएगा, point Q point P के बिल्कुल पास आ जाएगा, तो ये जो difference है वो बहुत कम हो जाएगा. Delta T becomes 0 or it tends to become 0. So delta T tends to 0. That means delta T is very small. And in this kind of situation, we always apply limit. You will read limit and continuity in your calculus part, mathematics. Okay, so let's see. This is your instantaneous velocity. Limit of delta T tends to 0, delta S upon delta T. And whenever we apply the limit, okay, just listen. Instantaneous velocity. When we are talking about instantaneous velocity, that means we are talking about velocity at a particular time. So just imagine if the point Q is very near to point P, that means delta T is very less. So if delta T tends to 0, then we have to apply limit. And whenever we apply limit delta T tends to 0, delta S upon delta T. You will read this part very briefly in your mathematics. Okay. So, and especially the student of biology, just see, when we applied the limit delta T tends to 0, delta S upon delta T, then it get convert in this form, ds upon dt. Okay. So instantaneous velocity is ds upon dt. And now what is ds upon dt? Well, see, S is a displacement here and d upon dt is a operator which we use in differentiation. Now what is differentiation? You will read about differentiation and integration in mathematics deeply, and we will use this mathematical tool in physics also. अभी simple भाषा में समझ लेते हैं कि differentiation क्या है. See, this is a continuous curve. You can see, one second. You can see here, this is a continuous curve. Okay, and if we differentiate this curve like this in a small part, if we differentiate this curve in a small part, at time t1 the position is this, at time t2 his position is this, at point t3 is t4, t5 and so on. So this kind of differentiation we can do with this operator which is called differentiator. Okay, and now how can we use this operator? I will tell you the whole formula when we will use it. Okay, we will use this operator when we will prove equation of motion with the help of mathematical tools. Okay, so now for here you can see that average velocity is delta s upon delta t. Delta represents the change, and for instantaneous velocity delta t tends to 0 and it get convert ds upon dt. Is this clear? This is new thing to you, so just tell me, is this clear? Okay, good. And don't worry about the formula. I will tell you the whole formula and trick about this when we will prove this equation of motion with the help of mathematical. So this is the case of average velocity and instantaneous velocity. Similarly, we have to find out the average acceleration and instantaneous acceleration. The same method we will use here. You can see here, this is on y-axis we have velocity in meter per second, and on time axis we have, on x-axis we have time in seconds. Okay. So at t1 the velocity is v1, at t2 the velocity is v2. Now we have to find out the acceleration. So we have to find out the slope of the line. Slope is change in y-axis upon change in x-axis, v2 minus v1 upon t2 minus t1. So delta v upon delta t. This is your average acceleration. Okay. Now when we talk about instantaneous acceleration, then we are talking about the acceleration at this point. So the tangent goes like this. Now this line which is like this, because in this q is very near to p and tangents like this. Same here, if q is very near to p, then tangents like this. So in this case also delta t tends to 0. Now we have to apply limit. Whenever delta t or any quantity tends to 0, we have to apply the limit like this. Okay, so instantaneous velocity equals to limit delta t tends to 0, delta v upon delta t. So instantaneous acceleration equals to dv upon dt. This is the formula. These are very important formula. I'm making a star here. Okay. And if something is missing, then don't worry, I will provide you the recording. Now this is clear. Okay, which one? Acceleration or velocity? Which one is not clear, acceleration or velocity? Now I'm repeating the whole thing once again. From time displacement graph, we can easily find out the velocity. But here the curve is not a straight line, it is a curved form. So we have to draw a straight line from P to Q. Now for the slope of the straight line PQ, we have to apply the formula S2 minus S1 upon T2 minus T1, that is delta S upon delta T. When we are talking about instantaneous velocity, that means we are talking about velocity at a particular time. So we imagine that point Q is very near to point P. So the tangent will lie on the point P. Okay. That means delta T tends to 0 because Q is here. That means delta T is very less than now. So delta T tends to 0. Then we have to apply the limit. Limit delta T tends to 0. Delta S upon delta T. This is the format of writing in limit. Okay. So ds upon dt. D also shows the change. very minimal change in the particular quantity. So V instantaneous equals to ds upon dt. Now come to time velocity graph. When we are talking about time velocity graph, so with the slope of velocity time graph, we can find the acceleration. So acceleration is change in velocity upon change in time. Delta time taken v2 minus v1 upon t2 minus t1, that is delta v upon delta t. Now imagine that point Q is very near to point P. That means tangent will lie this point. Okay. That means delta t is very less than now, very minimal. So delta t tends to 0. Okay. Now this is clear. Don't worry about it, Kanchan. I will provide you the whole recording on the channel. So don't worry if you are not getting good network in your area. Okay. So this is the mathematical representation when we are using limit. Limit is delta t tends to 0. It will convert ds upon dt. And this is a differentiator operator. And how can we use this operator? We will discuss this later. So don't worry about this. Now delta t tends to 0. That means delta v upon delta t. Instantaneous acceleration equals to delta v upon dv upon dt. This is your instantaneous velocity. Now, how can we use d upon dt? We will discuss later. So don't worry about it. Okay. And this is called your differentiator operator. Okay. Now come to time acceleration graph. See, in time acceleration graph, on x-axis we have time. On y-axis we have acceleration. The unit of time is in second and the unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Okay. So just imagine this is the graph. Okay. This is your acceleration. This is your origin point. At time t1, the acceleration of the particle is this. And at time t2, acceleration is this. Now you can see that acceleration is not changing with respect to time. That means this graph shows uniform acceleration, right? Acceleration is not changing with respect to time. It means that this graph shows uniform acceleration. Now, with the help of this graph, we can find out the velocity. What is the acceleration? Acceleration is change in velocity upon time taken.
Time taken.
Right? That is t. So change in velocity, we can find out the change in velocity how? A into t, where t is time taken. Okay. Now you can see this graph here as a, if we consider this is a, then the value of acceleration is a and the time taken is delta t, that is t2 minus t1. So we can find out the change in velocity t2 minus t1, that is delta v equals to a into delta t. Same thing we are doing in velocity time graph in case of displacement, right? Yesterday I showed same example for the displacement. Is this clear? Now you can see the example. Let this is 0, this is 5, this is 10, 15, and this is 20 second. Okay, this is in second, you know that. And this is your 10, this is 20, this is 30, and this is 40. Okay, now we have to find out the change in velocity At 10 seconds, the acceleration of particle is 40 meter per second square, and at time 20 seconds, the acceleration of particle is 40 meter per second square. Now we have to find out change in velocity. So change in velocity equals to A into time taken, that is T2 minus T1. So we can put here the value change in velocity equals to, what is the value of A? A is 40 meter per second square, right? And T2 minus T1 is 20 minus 10 second, right? So 40 multiplied by 10, and unit is meter per second square multiplied second. So second to second cancel. This is your 400 meter per second. So the change in velocity is 400 meter per second. Is this example is clear to you, everyone? Is this example is clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Kanika, yes, ma'am. Kanchan, yes. Now my voice is clear. Okay. Now, so the graph is over. We already discussed displacement time graph. We discussed time velocity graph. We discussed time acceleration graph. From the time displacement graph, we can find the velocity, average velocity, and instantaneous velocity as well. From the time velocity graph, we can find acceleration, average acceleration, instantaneous acceleration, and displacement as well. Okay. From the time acceleration graph, we can find easily change in velocity. Here you can see that at 10 seconds, the acceleration is 40 meter per second square, and at 20 second, acceleration is 40 meter per second square. Acceleration is not changing with respect to time. That means this is showing uniform acceleration. Okay. So acceleration equals to change in velocity upon time taken. So we can find out time taken T2 minus T1, delta V equals to A into T2 minus T1. This is your formula. Now if you have the values, so delta V equals to 40 meter per second square into 20 minus 10 second. And from this calculation, you can find the change in velocity. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now we are going to prove all equation of motion with the help of graph. Okay. So you know about the three equation of motion. Just give me the answer in chat. What are the three equation of motion? The first one is V equals to U plus AT, right? And the second one is S equals to UT plus half AT square, right? And the third one is V square equals to U square plus 2AS, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So V is the final velocity. As we know that we will use small v for final velocity, small u for initial velocity, S for displacement, A for acceleration, and T for time. Okay. Okay. So now let's start the proving. Here we have to make a graph like this. This is your time axis, and this is your x and y, and on y axis we will take velocity. Okay. Now here let's take the initial velocity of the particle is u, and this is the uniform motion. That means we are getting a straight line. Okay. A straight line means uniform motion. So initial velocity is u, and here the final velocity of the particle is v. Okay. So this final velocity achieved by the particle after time t. At time t equals to 0, the velocity is u, and at time t equals to t, the final velocity is v. So we know that in the first equation, there is a relation between initial velocity and acceleration. With the help of velocity time graph, we can easily find the acceleration. So let's prove the first equation. Slope नेमिंग कर लेते हैं A, B, C, D. This is E and this is F. Okay. Now slope of line AE. Okay. To find out the acceleration, we have to find out the slope of line AE. Now, how can we find the slope of line AE? Change in the y-axis upon change in the x-axis. Okay. So this is the change. Now you can see this is U and this is V. So what is the value of EB? This is V minus U. Change in velocity is V minus U. Okay. And at time t equals to 0, the velocity is U. At time t equals to t, the velocity is V. So change on y-axis upon change on x-axis. Okay. Now see the change. The final velocity is v and the initial velocity is u on y-axis. Now come to the x-axis. The final time is t. The initial time is 0. So t minus 0. So v minus u upon t. And the slope of line AE represent the acceleration. So A equals to v minus u upon t. Now just multiply it. V minus u equals to 80. You can write v equals to u plus 80. Simple mathematics. Is this proving is clear? Nothing is special here. We just find out.
Yes,
we have to find out the velocity change slope of line AE, because slope of line AE represent the acceleration. Okay. So v minus u upon t minus 0. That means A equals to v minus u upon t. V minus u equals to 80. V equals to u plus 80. Okay. Now come to the second equation. You already did this in your class 9th. So I don't think so there is any problem. Okay. Now come to the second equation. Let's start here. I think this is visible now. Just move it 1 second. यहीं कर लेते हैं. और अगर नोट डाउन नहीं हुआ तो रिकॉर्डिंग से कर लेना. Now come to the second equation. We have to find out the displacement. So in velocity time, with the help of velocity time graph, we can also find out the displacement. For that, we have to find out the area that covered by the graph. Right? We have to find out the area that is covered by the graph. Now, this is look like trapezium, right? You can use here the formula of trapezium also, or you can use the formula of triangle plus area of triangle plus area of rectangle. I think that will be more easy. So let's see. Displacement equals to area of triangle AEB plus area of rectangle ABDC. This is clear? Now, what is the area of triangle? 1/2 base into height, right? So 1/2 base into height. What is the base? Base is AB and height is BE. या EB लिख दो. Height is EB. Plus area of rectangle. What is the area of rectangle? Area of rectangle is length into breadth. So what is the length here? We can take length as a AC into AB, right? So 1/2. What is the value of AB? AB is T minus 0. What is the value of EB? EB is V minus U. Okay. What is the value of AC? AC is U. And what is the value of AB? AB is T minus 0. Right? So we can write like this, T and here V minus U and here U into T. Okay? Because we can use commutative property in addition. So let's take UT as a first term, because in the proving we know that UT comes first. And in case of addition, we can do this easily. There's no issue. UT plus half T V minus U. Now we will put the value of V minus U from the first equation. Okay, you can see that the first equation is V equals to U plus AT. That means we can put V minus U equals to AT. So just put it here. UT plus half T and this is AT. So UT plus half AT square. Okay. This proving is clear. I'm repeating this proving. To find out the displacement, we have to find out the area covered by this graph. So we can easily apply this formula, area of the triangle AEB plus area of the rectangle ABCD. The area of triangle is 1/2 base into height and rectangle length into breadth. So AB is T minus 0 and EB is V minus U. AC is U and AB is T minus 0. So 1/2 into T V minus U plus U into T. UT को पहले पुट कर लेंगे क्योंकि प्रूविंग में आता है और एडिशन में हम कर भी सकते हैं, कम्यूटेटिव प्रॉपर्टी लगा सकते हैं, तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. So UT plus half T V minus U. The value of V minus U equals to AT from the first equation of motion. So UT plus half AT square. I hope this is clear. Okay. Now come to the third equation. Okay. Well, in case of third equation, I already shared with you the video of class 9. In case of third equation, you can easily put the formula of trapezium also, and you can prove the third equation with the help of equation first. So now I'm going to use a trick for third equation. As we know that V equals to U plus AT. This is your first equation. Now on squaring both sides. Here we have to apply the formula A plus B ka whole square. So U square plus A square T square plus 2UAT. I hope there's no problem in this formula. You can easily do this. Now see, B square U square plus, now here you can easily write like this, AT plus A square T square. अभी ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं, इसको सेकेंड टर्म पे क्यों लिखा है पता चल जाएगा. U square, now 2A, we have to take common 2A from here. Okay, so here UT, अब यहाँ पे 2 नहीं है. In third term we don't have 2, but we want to take common, so we have to write like this, 1/2 with this. Okay, जब दोबारा अंदर मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो फिर यही चीज आ जाएगी. कॉमन लेने का मतलब ही यही कि जब कॉमन का अंदर वापस मल्टीप्लाई करें तो हमें फिर वही ओरिजिनल चीज मिलनी चाहिए. तो यहाँ तो 2A था तो हमने कॉमन ले लिया, यहाँ नहीं था इसलिए 1/2 लिखना पड़ेगा. अब ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं अभी पता चल जाएगा. AT square. Now you can see this is your second equation. Is that so? ut plus half at square is your second equation. इस फॉर्मेट में लाने के लिए हमने ऐसा किया, u square 2as. Now we can simply put the value s equals to ut plus half at square. So v square. Now this is your third equation. v square minus u square equals to 2as, or v square equals to u square plus 2as. This trick is clear to you. You can easily put the formula of trapezium also, and you can use this trick also. I think this trick is very easy. Just take your first equation and square it. V square equals to, here put the formula of a plus b the whole square, a square plus b square. You have to do little bit mathematics here. 2ut plus a square t square. यहाँ तक clear है? अब इन दोनों टर्म से हमें 2a कॉमन लेना था. क्यों 2a कॉमन लेना है? ये कैसे याद रहेगा? ये ऐसे याद रहेगा, बिकॉज 2a, राइट? तो 2a कॉमन ले लिया, यहाँ तो 2a था तो इजिली आ गया, ut लिख देंगे. अब यहाँ पे 2 नहीं है, बिकॉज यहाँ नहीं है इसलिए यहाँ अपॉन में लिखना पड़ेगा. नाउ जब 2a का अंदर मल्टीप्लाई कराओगे तो फिर यही आ जाएगा. सो 1/2 at square. नाउ दिस इज द s equals to ut plus half at square. This is your second equation. Just put the value of s here. So v square equals to u square plus 2as. This is your third equation. Okay. I hope this proving is clear. And you can simply apply the formula of trapezium. If you want to apply the formula of trapezium, you can apply. But that is the old-fashioned formula, and you do this kind of proving in class 9th also. That's why I want to convey something new to you, so you can apply this trick. Okay, so in next class we will do these equation of motion with the mathematical proving. This is the graph proving, graphical method. Now we will apply the mathematical method in next class. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I will provide you recording of this class, so don't worry if something is missing. And if there's any doubt, you can ask me now or you can ask me later also. Okay. Now, see what we will do. थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ देते हैं कि क्या हम करेंगे मैथमेटिकल प्रूविंग में. प्रूव हमें यही 3 इक्वेशन करनी है. We have to prove these 3 equation, and we use the mathematical tool which is called differentiator, as I told you. If I write like this, d upon dt, that means we are differentiating any quantity. If there is a s shows displacement, that means we are differentiating displacement with respect to time. Okay, d simply shows the change in the particular quantity. For a small change we will apply d. Okay, now how we will use this, we will see this. If we have to apply this formula, this operator at x, maybe x is a function. Okay, you guys are very familiar with the x. Okay, that's why I'm using it. And here the power of x is n. Okay, so after applying this operator, the formula is n comes to here, n x to the power n minus 1. अभी समझने में थोड़ा दिक्कत होगा ये फॉर्मूला, लेकिन अभी सिर्फ आप इसे याद कर लो, क्योंकि जो स्टूडेंट्स मैथ्स के हैं वो इस फॉर्मूले को बहुत बार यूज करने वाले हैं, तो उन्हें तो रट जाएगा. और जो स्टूडेंट बायो के यहाँ हैं उन्हें ये रटना ही पड़ेगा, उनके लिए कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है. तो द फॉर्मूला इज d upon dt to x to the power n is n x to the power n minus 1. Okay, now I'm just giving you an example. Here I'm taking x to the power 3 and